Alright, so I have done part of this album. We're talking about Helloween Time of the Oath. I covered the single for Power, which I'll get into as I get into this album. Um, this is the special release with the second disc, and I will cover the second disc as well. Album was originally released in 2006. This is the 2024 redo. I'm gonna say for an album that came out in 1996, this album was pushed wrong. They used the wrong song for a single, and this could have been a lot bigger than it was if they had marketed it better, because in 96 there was not a whole hell of a lot of competition in hard rock heavy metal for really good standout albums. Like we were still dealing with the post grunge, even in the grunge nightmare still. So Power is track 4 on here. Now, like I said, I've covered that for the single, and that was the wrong song to release as a single. We Burn, the first song on this album, would have been a better single. Starts the album off really good. I mean, really good. Fast, high octane power, man. Boom, you're just off and running. Steel Tormentor, not a great single per se, but a good tune. More an issue with the lyrics than anything. Wake Up the Mountain is a fantastic tune. Oh my god, I really love Wake Up the Mountain. That would have been a better single right there. Power, I get what they were going with when they were going with that single, but it doesn't work for me. Forever in One Neverland is actually pretty good for a slower tune. I really kind of dig on that one a little bit. Before the War is okay. A Million to One's not bad. Anything My Mama Don't Like. This one had some great. If it was cut just right and put into the right edit to make it a radio single, it would have been fantastic, man. Great groove to it, great rock groove to it. Would have really still worked at that time for singles. Kings Will Be Kings is not a bad tune either. It's a really good one. Mission Motherland wasn't bad. If I Knew wasn't bad. Then the album finishes off with The Time of the Oath. And the first time I heard this, I went, you've got to be kidding me. I was a huge wrestling fan once upon a time. I kind of fell out of love with wrestling when one of my favorite wrestlers kind of went loopy and did some really nasty stuff to themselves and their family. And that would be Chris Benoit. I absolutely loved Chris Benoit. And why do I bring Chris Benoit up specifically in this? The Time of the Oath, the way it opens up, the da 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 da. It's the intro to Benoit's theme music as done by Our Lady Peace. I could not remember off the top of my head. I cannot remember the name of the song. But I know the song, and it's like, wait, hold on, whoa, wait. So Our Lady Peace, 100%, totally beyond a shadow of a doubt, whether it was intentional or accidental, because let me tell you, accidental ripoffs do happen, but they totally accidentally ripped off and plagiarized Time of the Oath. And that's a really good tune. So, I mean, if you're going to rip off and plagiarize a tune, it's a good tune to rip off and plagiarize. But I could not get over it the first time I heard this. I had to go double check right away to see who ripped off who, because, wow, man. Note for note, it's just kind of like right there and perfect. The whole way around, I actually think this is definitely one of Helloween's better albums. A lot more of a rock kind of influenced album, more in the vein of Ozzy and less in the vein of 95 metal. So I want to say this would be more comparable to Ozzy in like the 80s, early 90s, when Ozzy was still really good and hadn't been influenced by grunge yet. I shouldn't say much. The album that would have Ozzy album comparable to this would have been released before this would have been Osmosis, which honestly wasn't a horrible album. But when you look at all the albums that were coming out in rock and metal at the time, this is actually really good compared to a lot of them. Like, I mean, this one would get more replay in my CD player than Osmosis will. It'll get more replay than Black Sabbath Forbidden will. And I'm talking the remix of Forbidden, the brand new one that came out, not the original version, the remix, which I really thought was good, and I thought it was better than most of the metal that was coming out at that time. And when I looked at the other albums that were comparable to this at the time, you know, you got Van Halen Balance, but this is definitely a better album than Balance the whole way around, I would say. Balance was definitely a little too grungy still. Steve Vai Firegarden, which I believe I've covered and reviewed. I'm not 100% sure. I got the album. It's a good album. Really fun. So the whole way around, in retrospect and in conjunction with other albums, this is a fantastic album and really was not promoted properly at the time and should have done better than it did. All right, give me a minute. We're gonna come back around and we're gonna do the bonus disc. All right. All right. Disc 2, bonus content. Now, I mentioned this when I did the single for Power, and I'm going to mention again. There are tracks on here that I think would be better on the album than they were on as bonus tracks or as singles or as B-sides. I still don't know is the first track on here, Japanese bonus track. And Take It to the Limit, also previously just a Japanese bonus track. Take It to the Limit definitely should have been on the album. Take It to the Limit probably should have been a single itself. A really, really good tune, really good straight ahead rocker, really had a great vibe to it, really enjoyed it. Then we're on to Electric Eye, cover from Judas Priest. And yes, it is. The one thing this band does, they do good covers, man. They are really faithful. And speaking of covers, the next one is Magnetic Fields. Jean-Michel Jarre, I believe is the name of the person. And it's really interesting because they're an EDM, techno-y, new wavy kind of person. So I have no comparison for this song. Don't know who the hell they are. But I actually really kind of dig on this song. I think it's really good. I've covered the song Rain already and how I feel about that. And I found out that that is a cover as well from Status Quo. Really dig the cover, and I think it might be enough for me to go check out the actual album itself to see how good it is. Then we got Walk Your Way, which is alright. I don't mind that one. I believe I've covered that one already as well. And then we got Light in the Sky. I really like Light in the Sky. Another one I think should have been on the album instead. Realistically, Take It to the Limit and Light in the Sky could have easily replaced Steel Tormentor and Power. Even if you want to leave Power on there, I'm going to say Take It to the Limit and Light in the Sky could have replaced Steel Tormentor and maybe Before the War. I'm not sure. One of the other songs. There's a couple other songs that could have replaced. Really got into a really good rock song again. And then Time Goes By. That was okay. I was okay with that being left over just to hear. That's fine with me. The whole way around, would I recommend this album? Definitely recommend this album. I even recommend getting the bonus disc because the stuff on the bonus disc is totally worth it. I mean, the cover of Electric Eye alone is just really awesome. Rain is a fantastic song, which I've talked about before. And like I said, Take It to the Limit, Light in the Sky are both fantastic as well. So the bonus disc to me is totally worth it. This whole little re-release is worth it. And the artwork is really good too. I didn't show that much. I guess I should do a little bit of that. All right, I have to make one major complaint about this album. Absolutely no notes whatsoever for the second disc inside the booklet. If you're going to take the time and effort to do the booklet, at least take the time and effort to add an extra page or two in there for the extra disc. I love all the little pumpkin artwork. It's great. You know, all these little kind of cute representations to go for the songs. Let's see here. I mean, I know some people will say it's cheesy, but you know what? I don't give a shit, man. I think it's personally fun. But once again, like I said, a little bit of effort to include just the briefest of notes, like even the written by notes. So you can see if it was written by any of the members of the band, if it was written by somebody outside of the band. That would have been fantastic. Just something. Maybe for the 50th anniversary release. All right, folks. Let me know what you think down below. Was I too nice about this album? Was I a little rough on this album? That's what the comment section's for. Let me know what you think. On your way down there, you'll see a couple links as well. Check those out, please, and thank you. Hit the like button, subscribe button, bell for notifications. I'd really appreciate that. Otherwise, peace, love, take care.